Welcome inside the locker room.
It's Smooth 98.1, and this is The Locker Room. It's all about sports. It's Tega and Zibby. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, Nigerian fans.
Hmm.
After waiting yesterday, I don't want to talk too much. We'll get to that story eventually. But a lot of things happening around the world, in the world of sports, or let's say specifically in the world of football. A lot of draws and last minute goals yesterday in Europe. We'll touch on that. We'll also go to Indian Wells and touch a little bit on the men and the women's um, quarterfinals. What else is happening in England? What else is happening in the world of sports? Just football and tennis for now, and then of course the NBA, but not too much drama going on there. Just last minute rush to try and clinch off some playoff spots. All of that and more in the locker room this morning. But before we do that, Zivi, how can we be a part of this wonderful locker room today?
Well, it's easy. You can catch the live stream on our YouTube channel, Smooth981, and don't forget to subscribe. You can see me in my green trying to rep Super Eagles without knowing the outcome, but Teg, I'll talk about that in a bit. Uh, You can also send messages through via WhatsApp 0809 981. You can also tweet at Smooth981. So those are the ways that you can be a part of the conversation.
All right, so we take the headlines and then we'll get to the stories for because we have a lot to dissect and analyze. All right, so let's take those headlines.
All right. International friendly. Eagles of Mali saw past Nigeria 2-0. Miami Open. Carlos Alcaraz, who's Tega's baby, by the way, wins in straight sets to reach the quarterfinals. Azarenka battles past Putin-Seva into Miami semis. Mainu gives England something different, Southgate says, after Belgium draw. Ukraine joined Poland and Georgia in qualifying for Euro 2024. Brazil fight back to draw a six-goal thriller with Spain. Phil Krug strikes late to send Germany past Netherlands. France come from behind to beat Chile in friendly.
Yes, a lot of world-class friendlies going all around yesterday, and including, in fact, my best goal from all the friendlies was Algeria's third goal against South Africa. What a goal! But he was not good enough to make our news. So, because South Africa cannot be joined with Algeria and Algeria when the Super Eagles did what they did in Morocco. So take us through the story so that we can dissect that one properly.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria on Tuesday fell 0-2 to the Eagles of Mali in an international friendly in Marrakech in Morocco. El Bilal Toure capitalized on a defensive blunder to put Mali ahead in the 18th minute.
Yes, so both goals defensive errors. One of them, Omero was not covered in glory at all. It's after watching that match, you'd understand why a coach would quickly go and pick a Truce Akon twice on Sunday before they pick an Omero. It was a kind of an embarrassing moment for him. But all these mistakes happen. If you're a professional footballer, you're going to have one of those days. But it was a horrible one for the ordinary Eagles of Mali to be the Super Eagles, allegedly, of Nigeria. Not a very good display, very disjointed. There were a few moments of brilliance by the Super Eagles. There were a few opportunities here and there by the Super Eagles, but nothing so clear cut. It was not the same Super Eagles. And you want to see a team that has consistent character, consistent performance. There should be growth in the team. And I know, yes, some people say, oh, we don't have a coach. We have a standing coach in Finidi George. But even the team itself has to have some character, because at the end of the day, the best laid plans are down to those people that are on the pitch executing it. And the Super Eagles yesterday, so I mean, Wilfred indeed had some brilliant moments, but he had some moments where we're looking for him on the pitch. So it's it's tricky. And yes, you may say it's a friendly, but it's indicative of where the team is at right now. They're not consistent, and they're not consistently bringing out results against tricky teams. And Mali is one of those teams. But I can forgive the Super Eagles anything because they beat Ghana right now. I don't know about tomorrow. I can forgive them today because they beat Ghana. But yes, it's not a very good moment. And it's not a good audition for Finidi George because, I remember I said Super Eagles are looking for a permanent coach. They had opened the position to the public and people had submitted CVs, Finidi George being one of them. So losing 2-0 to Mali, not a very good audition, because they will use your last match to judge you. Whilst we're applauding you for beating Ghana, which we haven't done in 18 years, that performance against Mali, like I said, quite disjointed, not too many clear-cut chances created, and with the two defensive blunders that led to Nigeria conceding those goals. That's the report card you have. Do you understand?
Wow.
That's your audition tape. That's your audition tape for the Super Eagles job. So it's a tough one for Finidi George, but it was not a great result, not a great performance for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and especially considering the fact that whoever the new coach is going to be, he already has a tough task ahead of him, trying to qualify for the World Cup after dropping points in 2 matches, which should have been some of the weakest teams in Africa, at least on paper. So I don't know how this pans out for Finidi George, was not looking good. All right. So we'll take your thoughts on those. I know some people are saying, I can't judge him after one game. I'm sure they're already in the WhatsApp and YouTube chat saying,
Yep.
Tega, I told you. Let's just take one of those I told you messages. Just one.
All right,
one.
let's take this one from YouTube. It's from Padre Pio, and he says, on Monday, after his first win, some called for Finidi to be made coach permanently. I'm just here this morning to hear their own opinion after losing to a team we've not lost to since 1975, before Tega was born.
How do you know I was not born in 1975? All right, you see, I was waiting for the I told you so messages. We'll take more of those messages later, but keep them coming because we want your opinions on the Super Eagles loss to Mali. While we wait to get those messages, let's go to Indian Wells and see what's happening in men's tennis.
Top seed Carlos Alcaraz reached the Miami Open quarterfinals with an efficient straight set win over Italy's Lorenzo Musetti. Alcaraz, who's 20 years old, won 6-3, 6-3, and will play Poland's Hubert Hurkacz or Bulgarian's Grigor Dimitrov next.
Oh, he's definitely playing Grigor Dimitrov because Grigor defeated Hubert Hurkacz in one of the fantastic matches in the quarterfinals for the men's draw yesterday. And an interesting moment there. He'll be winning a point, but he touched the net after playing the ball. And once you do that, the point automatically goes to the person on the other side of the court. So that was I think, turning point in the tiebreak for Grigor Dimitrov to win. But for Carlos Alcaraz, he's played 2 brilliant opponents, 2 tricky opponents, 2 opponents that are stylish. So there were magic moments on court. So first of all, he played Gael Monfils, and we had both of them flying around the court until Gael Monfils' 37-year age warned him that, look, we're not as young as that boy on the other side of the net. And he had picked up an injury quite close to his ankle. So tough one there, but he lost in straight sets as most people would have expected against Carlos Alcaraz. And then Alcaraz comes up against Musetti. Now, Musetti is the kind of guy that he has the weapons in his arsenal to play great matches and bring out great results. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the consistency, and some of it is down to the stamina. Because if he's brilliant shot making, he has it. But just that physical stamina to contend with some of the top guys, and that's where he's lacking, and that's where he faltered yesterday. And Carlos Alcaraz was able to come through 6-3, 6-3, straight sets win. Now, Carlos Alcaraz faces Grigor Dimitrov, Daniel Medvedev, who came out of it looked like a tough first set, but a pretty easy set because he bageled Kofka in the second set. also to make it through. Yannick Sinner had one of the easiest matches yesterday. In fact, I would have said his match was easier than Alcaraz, but after Alcaraz won against Musetti, he even went to Miami Heat to watch the NBA the NBA game.
Wow.
So courtside seats at the NBA game. So his match turned out to be pretty easy on the night. So the big names have made it so far. We are still waiting for some more big names today. The likes of Zverev, to see if they can come through and make the final four at least a little more interesting for the men's draw.
All right, let's go on to the women. Three-time Miami Open winner Victoria Azarenka battled for nearly 3 hours to get past a very determined Yulia Putintseva and take a place in the semifinals. The 7-6, 7-4, 1-6, 6-3 win on Tuesday.
I would have said this was the toughest match, but Rybakina Sakari came next, and that was even tougher. But yes, this was a pure battle. After Iga Swiatek fell yesterday to Ekaterina Alexandrova, I think a lot of women have decided that, you know what, it could be my turn, because Iga Swiatek was beginning to look like a daunting task for anybody to defeat. But she fell so easily. I would say it was it's the kind of performance that she'd go to her hotel room and just cry because of the way after battling against Noskova to come through, then she falls very easily against Alexandrova in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2, I think. So that was a tough one. But the minute she was out of the draw, everybody was like, yes, it's my turn to win. And so everybody fancies their chances. Putintseva thought she was going to get one against Victoria Azarenka. Victoria Azarenka was like, nope, I've been here before, done that, and I'm going to do it again. So it was a tough battle for both of them. But in the end, I think Azarenka just moved a little better. It wasn't about the hitting. It wasn't about the placement of the shot, but because both players were making errors at crucial times. It came down to the movement, and Azarenka's movement was just a little sharper and a little clearer. So she got that one through. The next match was Rybakina Sakari, and I think the reason Rybakina was able to win that was her serves and her big forehand, because both players were it completely left tennis. It became pound for pound boxing from both ends of the court. I don't know how those balls survived it.
Wow.
But I don't think they can even donate that to charity, because all of them would have been soft. It was hard hitting, it was excruciating, but Rybakina served just a little better, especially in the third set. And her forehands just kept finding the line. So brilliant quarterfinals. Today we have two more quarterfinals to go on the women's side, and then 4 more on the men's side. So let's see how it goes.
All right. You're still listening to The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us. The conversation continues shortly.
When we come back, we'll read all the messages first.
Okay.
Before we get into the football.
Super Eagles, these people. If you need don't allow them stay in your green. No. Just walk away at this point. But you know what? Why should he walk away? Go for that job.
Yeah. You know what? He should go for it, because it's not like the person that they're going to pick will not still lose one or two matches.
That's true, man. That is so true.
But I think he needed this match to come down to earth. I'm not saying that he should have lost. I'm not saying he should have lost it, but he needed to come down, because after beating Ghana, everybody was like, put the pen and paper in front of him and sign it. Yada yada. I was just like, calm down, guys, calm down. But yeah,
that is true. A little humble pie.
Yeah, I'm not sure he should have lost to the, and that was not a beautiful display. Team just looked disjointed. They looked flat. When they went 1 goal behind, I think they now got. Oh, I forgot to even mention that Moses Simon injury, because we don't even know how long he'll be out for now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he picked up an injury in international friendly. So, and he didn't look good. Maybe it was my feed, but it didn't look very good. So we're waiting to see what the results are. I should have mentioned that. I'll mention that maybe when we start reading the messages. But yeah, it was not a good performance. Not a good one at all.
Eagles. It's just the lack of
Eagles.
consistency.
No,
Like
no, no. They're not Eagles. Eagles is Mali. Super
Super
Eagles.
Eagles. Or super, the other bird that I can't say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one that we fry and we eat
With pepper.
with pepper. Tough one. Tough one.
Yeah, wow. Dang. Well, to be honest, Mali is a decent team, though. It's not like they're
Very, very, and they're good.
exactly.
So I just think they are perennial butlers because they're such a good team that it's shocking that they haven't done better as a nation. So when they bring these results, it comes as a shock. But when you think about the
Yeah,
way the team is, they're not a poor team at all.
that's true.
They're not a poor team at
I, okay, Mino, Kobe Mino, or Minu. His brother was on Love Island, one Love Rats.
all. Eh,
Yep, very wayward boy. Jordan.
they are all wayward. Forget it. Just because he's playing football doesn't mean he doesn't have potential to be
Abio,
wayward. He just has too many games to continue in his waywardness.
that is true. All right, we're going on. You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's Tega and Zibby. It's all about sports. And we see your messages. Keep them coming. I'll let you know 0809 444 981. You can also tweet at Smooth981. We're streaming live on YouTube. You can catch the live streams. Always a good idea because even while the mics are not on, the show doesn't stop. So you can always
Exactly.
catch the Behind the Mics action with Tega and I. It's always up on our YouTube channel, Smooth 981.
All right. So should we take some messages about the Super Eagles first? Because that one can be painful.
Okay, let's do that. All right. Tayo says, Finidi George's one match unbeaten run comes to an end. Wow, Tayo.
Ayo, put that phone down.
Tayo is so mean. Finidi George's one match unbeaten run comes to an end. It's safe to say Mali's Eagle is different from Super Eagle. Now everybody's eyes calm. Thank God I went to sleep early. Ooh. Okay, let's see. AY from Oniru says, I particularly enjoyed the Brazil-Spain international friendly match, which was a 6-goal thriller ending 3-3 with Yamal and Endrick being the outstanding performers for their respective countries. Mayowa Oshadari says, Southgate is driving a Rolls Royce like a double-decker bus. Spain versus Brazil was like a World Cup semi-final match. Finidi's scorecard is fair. Played 2, win 1, lost 1, scored 2, and conceded 3 goals. Last, we need a better coach. Okay.
Can you afford a better coach? Take it. Let's not go there this morning. Okay, let's hear those thoughts coming in on the Super Eagles. Let's hear those thoughts. The numbers to send your messages to are
via WhatsApp 0809 444 981. I'll give you the number again 0809 444 981.
all right. So let's take the football stories as if people have already touched on it. We might as well talk about it.
All right, Kobe Mainu gives England a different profile of midfield player. This is according to manager Gareth Southgate. He said this yesterday as he weighed up his options for the Euro 2024 after his side salvaged a late 2-2 draw against Belgium at Wembley.
Don't give this guy a high hope. So you can only carry 25 players to the Euros. Not be giving him high hope. Then I say, yeah, he gives us a good option, but he's young and he still has time, and then they will drop him. But he was fantastic. And I like the way the lads are talking about him. Maybe, just maybe the way they talk about him, the PR can push him to make the final list for the Euros. But he had a good game. He's using his youthful exuberance very well to make those midfield runs for them, and then he has skill. He has brilliant skill too. So great one for them. But going to the match proper, Belgium, you had only one job, so that I will hear crying. At misery loves company. Super Eagles lost. The Three Lions should have lost too, so that our colonial relationship will continue successfully.
Exactly.
I don't like this one that they managed to salvage a draw. Now they'll say, well, it's not so bad. At least we didn't lose. I wanted them to lose, and they were losing until Jude Bellingham scored that extra injury time goal. But was not such a brilliant performance by either team, if you ask me, because there were times that England had dominant possession and then Belgium took the ball and just couldn't finish off the chances. So Belgium also has work to do in their final third, but the England team, man, you look at the names of players and you're wondering, why are they playing football like this? Do you understand? It's like you buy somebody some of the nicest outfits, nice shoes, nice dress, take her to one of the best salon, and then she comes out looking like me on a Monday morning, shorts, t-shirt, and a face cap. You're just like, so why did I buy all that outfit? And that's what the England team is like, designer clothes with very ordinary outcome. And Southgate, he's living on a prayer, really. One of the reasons, that he's going to get away with it again, like I said, is that they did not lose and the Euros are really close. So the FA will be wondering, if you fire him now, wouldn't it be too close to the championships for us to try and do something? And they're looking at themselves like, with this crop of players, we should at least have an opportunity of winning the Euros. And they still do have an opportunity of winning the Euros, because whatever you want to say of their tactical performance, you have to commend the fact that they have players that can, in the last minute, come up with a goal. And remember, Harry Kane didn't even play. So they still have options that could score them goals and win them a tournament. So it's a tough one, not very convincing, or not very convinced by England, but they did come out with a draw against the Belgian side that should do better. So all in all, I think the friendlies yesterday seemed to be a little more interesting than the Euros qualifiers. Not a convincing performance. I still think that he's going to go at some point, and he will not go crowned in glory. But let's see how it turns out.
All right. Let's go on to Euro 2024. Ukraine came from behind to beat Iceland in a playoff to qualify for Euro 2024 yesterday. Poland secured their place at the finals, the penalty shootout victory over Wales, and Georgia qualified for a first ever major tournament.
That Georgia own is the one that is getting me. They qualified over Greece.
Wow.
It was Greece, 2004 Euro champion, that Georgia beat 4-2 on penalties. So really, really tough one for Greece, but fantastic result for Georgia. I would say this about Poland. Poland did what they needed to do. Not convincing, but they were able to get one against Wales. The Welsh stadium was packed yesterday. Everywhere stew, it was red. But as a Warri girl, let's just say everywhere stew. And they were singing so loudly, from the national anthem to their cheering to everything, only to get there. And then James missed a penalty. Now, James off the pitch, bullseye, because he just had a baby a few days ago. Bullseye off the pitch, but not bullseye on the pitch, because the goalkeeper actually saved this penalty convincingly. In fact, it was one of the poorest penalties I've seen. If he was kicking like that, he would have had 2 children, is all I can say. But sad miss, one of the players that they'll be looking up to, because he has had such a fantastic season with Leeds United, in the championship. Unfortunately, he couldn't replicate the same form with the Wales team, and so Wales not going to Euros. They will not be in Germany in June, and Poland will be the happier for it. They didn't play convincingly, but they are through. They are on the plane to Germany. What else happened? Ukraine, yes, Ukraine said no to Iceland. Iceland had already knocked out a country that was involved in war, and that was Israel. And they were looking to knock out another country that was involved in war, and Mikhail Mudryk said, no, you cannot do this back to back. Your back-to-back cannot be a hit. And he scored that goal that takes Ukraine through to Germany. So interesting one at the Euros for all the countries that qualified. Congratulations to them. And for the countries that missed out, sad luck, try again next time.
Okay. Brazil drew with a 6-goal thriller with Spain as Endrick Yamal dazzled, and Brazil snatched a late leveler to share an entertaining and occasionally heated 3-3 friendly draw with Spain.
Yeah, Spain looking like they were going to do something. After that loss against Colombia, they came out with with an oomph, thinking that, look, we are going to show the world who we are. We are Spain. We are world champions. We are Euro champions. We are all kinds of champions you can think about. We are going to do the business, and they scored 2 goals. Brilliant performance. Whilst they were scoring the 2 goals, it looked like a daunting task for Brazil. Then their goalkeeper makes a mistake. Brazil gets the equalizer. Gets the equalizer first. Who scored that equalizer now? I know it was a Real Madrid player, but I remember eventually. He gets the equalizer for Brazil, and 2-1, Brazil are in. Then Brazil, no, he didn't get an equalizer. He scored the first goal. Then Brazil gets the equalizer through Endrick, a future Real Madrid player. So it's Real Madrid that is just doing all this thing. And the match was played at the Santiago Bernabeu. So 2 Real Madrid players for Brazil scoring at the Santiago Bernabeu, owned by Real Madrid. And then the game became more interesting. Both teams just going at it. And this is why I always tell people, football is not, as much as you use stats, it's not mathematics, it's not numbers. Give us some entertaining moments. And Spain, Brazil had all the entertaining moments. They had the tricks, they had the flicks, they had the magic, they had the mistakes, and it had goals. And then Brazil gave away a penalty. Rodri scores his second penalty of the match and puts Spain 3 up. And just when the referee was putting his whistle to his mouth, Spain gave away a penalty. And Brazil scored the equalizer.
Oh. Wow.
Fantastic game there. Everything happened in the game. There was even controversy because it was a friendly match, but the players were quarreling on the pitch. I'm like, how can you be fighting during a friendly? Even the name itself gives away what you should be doing on the pitch. But at the end of the day, it was entertaining. Unfortunately, there was again no victor in this one.
All right, let's go on to the next story. 84th minute header from Niklas Füllkrug sent Euro 2024 host Germany past the Netherlands 2-1 in a friendly in Frankfurt on Tuesday.
Yeah, so huge win for Germany. Remember, they had a horrible 2022. Horrible, for very forgettable 2022. Enter Nagelsmann, and they've beaten 2 big names in the space of in the space of the same amount of matches. So it was France first, and now it's the Netherlands. So fantastic result for them. Good confidence booster going into the Euros that they are hosting. And remember, they are also in a very tough group, and Poland just joined their group because Poland qualifying yesterday puts them in the group, the group I call the group of death now, where Germany is in. So really fantastic result for Germany against the Dutch. The Dutch would say that they did play brilliantly coming into the match. Unfortunately, Memphis Depay could have put them up. He didn't put them up. They had a few chances here and there they didn't take advantage of. And Germany were a bit more clinical with their chances, even if they too created some chances that they should have put in the back of the net. So I would say good confidence booster, good results for the host. And now, if you're a German fan, you're going out to definitely buy tickets for the Euros. You're going out to definitely buy your new jersey for the Euros because the team is playing a lot better and they can be hopeful of at least going far into this tournament.
All right. I think we can look at some of the messages that we have.
Yeah, on that note, we are out of time. Let's just take some messages. Yeah.
All right. Tayo says Southgate is the Pesero of England coaching. It's safe to say that it's not coming home this Euro 2024. Real Madrid is topping football investments with their array of players. Endrick has a promising future if he's disciplined. Ibukun from Ketu says, Tega, it's too early to judge Finidi. Kobe Mainu got man of the match at his young age. The future of Man United is bright. AY from Oniru says, Endrick, okay. Emeka Onelum says, just in case England is
Endrick didn't score the first goal. Endrick scored the second goal. I know Endrick scored the second goal. He didn't score the first goal. The first goal, oh God, now that you mentioned it, I can't remember his name. It's not Vinicius Junior, it's the other one, the younger one.
Okay.
I'll remember his name now. All right.
All right. Finally, Omeka Onelum says, just in case England is looking for a new coach, Jose Pesero is free just in case. He'll do a better job than Gareth Southgate. Even Mr. Bean, oh wow, will do a better job than Southgate. As for the Eagles, when it comes to friendlies, I'm not bothered because we played better during qualifiers and main tournaments. We lost our friendlies before AFCON, but did really well in the tournaments. Okay. Tayo says Rodrigo. Yes.
I just remembered his name now, Rodrigo. Yes,
Right,
it was Rodrigo.
Right. Okay, one last message from Ian. Ian says, the fact that Finidi's second name is George doesn't mean we should judge Finidi George. Don't judge Finidi George, at least not yet. Ian must be a poet.
Ian must be a poet. Thank you for your messages. Oh my God! Somehow you just be looking at the player face and you just can't remember his name. Is this old age? Yeah, it was Rodrigo who got the first goal. So yeah, fantastic one. There. Thank you for sending in your messages. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 FM and listening to the Locker Room. Till we come your way again. I know some of you are so excited that International Weekend is over and football, as you know it, is back. Yes, we'll be touching on the Arsenal-Manchester top of the table clash by Friday. So till we meet you on Friday, please do not make the mistake that the Spanish goalkeeper made yesterday. All right, and have a great week.